How's it going, my aristocrats? I hope you're all doing well. So for this video, I want to give you like a little bit of a NoFap update and everything of like what's been going on, like everything that's been going on, like in general, because like there's literally been like so much that's been happening lately, and so I'll start with one thing. So like last week there was like another there was like another girl that was like in my life and everything, and we were, I was like of course like releasing and everything with her and all that, but like then I started that week I also started like praying in the morning and everything. And after I started doing that, like after a couple of days of praying in the morning and all that, this girl kind of revealed a side of her to me that I didn't even like know existed. And it was a bad side. So of course like I had to it was a sign for me to like cut her out of my life. And so that got me back on my recent streak, the streak that I'm on right now. I'm on like day 5 right now. But yeah, and so I find it like it only just hit me yesterday actually that it's only after I started praying in the morning and everything that like things started to get better. And so like I was on like a bit of a call with like some other self-improvement people and everything. And we were talking about things that we were gonna do this week in order like and that we were gonna commit to this week in order to like better ourselves and like improve ourselves and everything. And for me that was morning prayer. So I started like praying in the mornings and all that stuff as I said, and after I started doing that, that's when everything started to get better, and when NoFap and everything started to get a lot easier, because simply by praying and putting that energy out there to God or to the universe, or like to whatever you believe in. Like I believe in God, but some people say the universe and everything. It just it just makes it so much easier, because the difficulties, to a certain extent at least, will move out of your way. But anyways, like aside from that, like I'm on my recent streak and everything, and I feel myself starting to become more reoriented, or rather like just getting back to my purpose, I guess. Because like back when I was like in a relapse cycle, because those of you who know me from like the server and everything know that I was in a bit of a relapse cycle after my 20 something day streak. But after I broke that cycle and like after I got out of that, then which is right now, like things have just become so much easier. It's become so much easier to proceed and everything. And like another thing that I've been doing lately, like sorry for the pause. I felt like something in the back of my neck, but so another reason for like, or rather like another thing that's been happening on this streak is that I feel myself journaling like more and more and more. So like journaling is something that I've had trouble sticking to in the past. Like I would always advocate for it, like I would always advocate on its behalf, but like I wouldn't really stick to it. But ever since a little bit before this streak started, and now especially since this streak started, I feel myself journaling more and more and more, because I just have so many like emotions and everything that like I want to get out. But like I can't like say these things to everybody and whatnot. So like I have to like write it in my journal. And the best part about having a journal especially, and this is something that I've spoken about in the past as well, the best part about having a journal is that it's your journal. You can write whatever you want in there. It could be as intimate and as detailed and as private as you want it to be. And it just helps so much to just lift an emotional burden off of your shoulders. If you're going through something, if you're having philosophical thoughts about something, if you've just been like, if something's just been on your mind like randomly or whatnot, like all day and everything, like you should journal about it. And I want to tell you a little bit of a story from yesterday and like what happened yesterday. So I was feeling like that I had like a lot of emotions and everything like running through my head, I guess. And so yesterday, for reference, I usually journal at night and everything. I usually journal at night. I only journal for like 10 or 20 minutes usually, but yesterday I was journaling for hours. I was literally journaling for hours yesterday. Like I was thinking about like I was just journaling about my future and all that, and particularly like my future wife and all that stuff. Like I know a lot of you may find that like stupid or whatnot, but like shut the fuck up, bro. But anyways, I think it's very important, like especially to visualize your future and to write that down, because then you have a more definitive path of what you want. You have a more definitive path of where you want to go in life, what you want to do, and everything of that sort. And like especially when it comes to like the kind of woman that you want to be with and everything like in the future. Journaling is a perfect place to get that down. Here, I'll give you a little bit of advice. I'll give you a little bit of advice and I'll tell you what I did. So I actually got this from Hamza, for those of you who watch Hamza. But Hamza, he made a video one time about journaling about your future wife. He made a video about that, and he said, since it's your journal, you can be as detailed and as intimately detailed and whatnot as possible. And so when a lot of people describe what woman they want to be with in the future, it's just like, oh, she'll be this height, or she'll look like this, or this and that. Like no, we're not just gonna do that here. We're gonna go deeper. What kind of family does she come from? What kind of values does she have? How will she raise your children? We go deeper than that. And it's very important to go deeper than that too, because I know that this topic is something that every single one of you has at least thought about to some degree. In my case, I can at least admit that I've it's something that I've been thinking about for years and years, like wanting to have a family and everything, because that is the most important part of your life. Your purpose, or the purpose, like the natural purpose and everything, is to procreate. Or one of our purposes in life is to procreate. And of course, we have purposes outside of that. But I mean, if procreation wasn't a purpose, then why would it be on our minds all the time? Why are we here? Well, why are you here watching this video? Why are you on NoFap? Like, because you're getting horny. You're getting horny. You're getting like, oh, like I want to have sex with that woman, or oh, she's so hot. Oh, I have to go fat. Like, but uh, I'm an idiot. But anyways, I that's something you should absolutely journal about, because once you journal about that, and once you get all of those thoughts and feelings out of your body and onto that paper, you will feel better. 100% you will feel better, and you will feel as if, like, when you write it down, it's very hard to explain, but you almost feel like you have this intrinsic feeling as if it's going to happen. And like, I know that like a lot of people say like, oh, but only 3% of marriages are happy, or oh, only 3% of couples are happy, oh, 98% are unhappy. Shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. Who cares? We're not trying to be like the 98% anyways. Is that why you're here? No. We're here because we want to be the best versions of ourselves. We're here because we want to be better. We want to be better than what we once were. We want to become our full potential. Is that what 99% of people are doing? No. You're here. You're here because you want to be better, not because you want to be like everyone else. So when you envision your future relationship, don't be like that. Don't envision yourself like everybody else. Envision truly that you're going to have that stable and loving relationship. I know I'm kind of like going on a rant and everything now, but I guess that's what this is for. But I'm serious though, because so many people nowadays, like, they'll just confine themselves to like the realm of like reality or whatnot, and I feel like that's a big part of the reason as to why there's so many unsuccessful relationships. Think about it. Think about it. What do most people do nowadays when they get into relationships? First of all, they don't take relationships seriously. They're just like, oh, I slept with that person, or oh, like this person's mildly attractive, so I guess I'll be in a relationship with them, and like they don't really care about like the personality and like the characters and like all that kind of stuff. Or it'll be the opposite, and they'll be like, oh, but well, this person has a good personality and like it's compatible with me, but like they're not really that attractive. I guess I'll still be in a relationship with them. Like, no, no, you can't settle like that, man. You can't settle like that. And in either of those cases, you can't settle. Don't settle for someone who's not willing to engage with your interests, and don't settle for someone who you're not even really that attracted to, because your eyes will wander. And it's just so important, man. It's just so important. It's so important that we don't make these mistakes. It's so important that that we don't like confine ourselves to settling and everything that like so many other people do. it's you know, it's actually like a little hard for me to talk about because I don't really want to like go into detail with like what I wrote or anything, but I want to tell you guys to do the same thing. I'll give you like a little like a few of like the basic concepts and everything. Like maybe you could talk about like what religion or whatnot she is. You could talk about like what kind of family background she comes from, like what her family is like, and like how you get along with her family and like all that kind of stuff. But like I promise you, bro, I promise you, like once you write about this stuff and like once you get this down on paper, you will feel as if it's going to be real. Because in my mind at least I believe that it will be real. I believe I believe firmly that the ideal wife and whatnot that I journaled about will come into fruition. And sometimes that's all it takes. It takes believing, it takes putting it out there, and it takes making yourself the best version. Making yourself into the best version of yourself so you could be your best version for not just yourself, but also for your future family. And that brings me to like something else that like I've been wanting to talk about as well, which is the epidemic of fatherlessness in this generation. So many people in this generation have grown up without a father. Think about that. No other generation has had this problem that we know of, at least, but still, no other generation that we know of has had this same problem. I mean, maybe Generation X, because I mean, Generation X was also like really fucked up, bro. They were really fucked up, bro. But aside from that, like that carried over. That carried over into our generation. Our generation is a generation that grew up without our fathers. I thankfully had my father. I thankfully had my father in the household, and I'm very, very, very thankful for that. But that's not the majority of people in this country. The majority of people in this country and in the West in general have grown up without fathers. And it's very, very unfortunate to see that. And so, that being said, we have to turn ourselves into the best versions of ourselves, not just for you, but also for your future children. Because you want to be that father for them. You want to be a good father to them. You want to be involved in their lives. You want your influence to rub off on them. Don't you? You don't want them growing up without a father, do you? No. You have to be the best version of yourself for them too. They may not exist yet, but they will. And not just for them either, but also for your wife. Another like big thing that Hamza has said, speaking about like families and all that, is that excuse me, there's like a wasp or something like flying outside, like trying to get into my window, but just making sure it wasn't like breaking like the screen or anything. But anyways, like another thing that like Hamza said particularly that was like so important is that the most important decision that you will ever make as a man is the woman who you choose to have your children with. The woman who will be the mother of your children. That is the most important decision you will ever make. And therefore, that's why I say do not settle. Do not be like the 99%. Visualize what you want your ideal wife to be like. Visualize it. Journal about it. And it will happen. So long as you're on your path, so long as you're making yourself into the best version of yourself, it will happen. I know I've like rambled on for a lot, so like I'm probably just gonna end the video here, but anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found like a lot of insights in it and everything. Like I know I was rambling for a while and all that, but like I hope you found some insights in like the rambling. But uh anyways, guys, thanks for watching as always. I'll see you guys on the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as always, because you know YouTube doesn't put this stuff in the algorithm. Because like oh like self-improvement, we can't be putting that in the algorithm, that because that's not instant gratification. Shut the fuck up, YouTube. Put this in the algorithm. Put my videos in the algorithm. Damn it. Anyways, have a good one, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one.